Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family,
Hi there, and here we go again.
yet again. So we can see what is tweeted here. The blast has nothing to do with a volcanic eruption, and that's quite a shroom. And that's because the initial report is, well, it mentioned something like, well, maybe this is actually just a mud volcano going off. And obviously that doesn't look like a mud volcano.
No, it's not a mud volcano. Mud and this stuff are two different things. This is like bright orange and flame looking. Mud is, it splats and stuff. It's not mud.
No, that's definitely not. And this is in the Caspian Sea. So this is not the one that was in the Gulf of Mexico. Today's a new day. It's another explosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's wild now what we're seeing going on here. And, we've talked about covert warfare. We've talked about fake banners, FFs, if you know what we mean. I asked Cindy to get in contact with the guides, the Galactics, etc., and get their take. And they said, oh, it's that group that starts with an I and ends with an I doing their thing again.
More of the same, and this is interweaving, and it's something that just kind of keeps happening. I want to say that they're coincidences, but gosh, I don't know.
No, they're not. That's basically, there's no way we could look at all this massive series of events and think that they're coincidences. So this is a fireball that burst into the sky after a mystery explosion in the Caspian Sea. And they're saying that it has to do with, well, basically oil and gas again. And, interesting, because we're talking about, well, what do you do before you have a full-blown war? You attacked infrastructure. And we had seen the bridge that mysteriously developed massive cracks over the Mississippi that led to hundreds of ships being blocked up over there. We've seen so many train derailments. We've seen all sorts of things going on, all these different explosions, so many explosions at, again, energy producing places, energy and food and infrastructure, building collapse. I think we could see what's going on. And a lot of people will find connections with the earth changes, everything that's going on there as well. And there is the possibility that in some cases some of that is in there. But what we've gotten is that this group that begins with an I and ends with an I, and bigger than them, I mean, we're just using that as a generic term as one aspect of them. Because as we said before, there's that group, and the first part of that word is like when you're sick, you are, you get it, right? Then there's a much more ancient group, but what we're trying to get across is they're interrelated. That other group, I, and that goes way back to ancient Sumeria, and we're really talking about the same lineage here, the same families, the same true power structure behind the scenes that orchestrates. It's like a huge symphony of destruction, queuing in a blast here, and I'm doing those motions like the conductor does. Okay, give me a blast over in Azerbaijan. Okay, now we need a blast over in the Gulf of Mexico. Bring in the horns and the cellos. What's that going to be? That's going to look maybe on a crop loss. It's all being pieced together, one after another after another. Yep. So fears that a rig or a tanker had been destroyed. Rumors were squashed by Azerbaijan Caspian shipping company who denied the blast had taken place. Well, I guess that little mushroom cloud is just an optical illusion. Is it? Again, cover-ups. And so they said, volcanoes often erupt in the Caspian Sea. Let's go see what Dutch has to say about this, or some other people that watch this every single day. And when we see over here, by the way, this is the one that we were talking about in the Gulf of Mexico. So yeah, all of a sudden now we got, buildings collapsing, bridges falling down, things like that. Remember DC as well. And it's all starting to happen at the same time. Well, this company had a horrible past history, a long history of death and accidents. And, it's just all coming to a head right now.
Mm-hmm.
As I hear like big helicopters in the distance, I'm curious about. And by the way, at the same time, we got attack after attack after attack with ransomware. Major ransomware attack against U.S. tech provider forces Swedish store to close 800 stores. That was huge. That's huge. And, the scope of the cyber attacks that's coming out are just even beyond what we had been led to believe. This was the shutdown of a major food retailer following Friday's unusually sophisticated attack on U.S. tech provider Kaseya, a ransomware gang known as RE-Evil. It's like this is like such Mike Myers, Austin Powers stuff that we're starting to see here.
It is.
Or G.I. Joe.
Yep, it's pretty bad.
It's Cobra, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we said, it's you know who it is. It's certain lights, if you know what we mean there. By the way, JB says U.S. will respond if Russia is behind the cyber attack. And this is where, again, there's a lot of things going on. And as we had said, you saw a lot of things like this happening in the build-up to World War I, World War II. And, it's part of what usually happens in preparation. It's probing, it's prodding. And there again, World War I and II, they really did happen. And if we look deep, we can see that orchestration that went on in bringing it about.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though it's orchestrated, they do happen. So what type of retaliation will come? Will it be more sanctions of the like or something else? After we've seen all these military buildups and all these war games going on. By the way, the demolition of the collapsed condo tower in Florida will begin Sunday night. Miami-Dade mayor said, and DeSantis was talking about this as well. It's too dangerous at the moment, so they're going to take it all down, and then they'll keep going and take it all away. Death toll at the moment is 24. 121 still missing. And, Spain has a law that they just put into effect that would allow the government to seize citizens' property during any sort of quote unquote health crisis. As we have said, every area has its issues. Every state a little bit different. Some lean a little right, some lean a little bit left. But when you come to Europe and you come to the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the stuff that's in effect there, I'd much rather be honestly where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ideally, I don't know, some tiny little place nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Costa Rica and different places. Every area has their issues, and areas that are especially nice. Sometimes there's coups that happen, and again, that's being orchestrated by that same group again. Always, always, always trying to control everything. But and by the way, there are the same things. There are laws in effect through executive orders that basically will allow the same thing here. People don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And, all of this production is to just constantly make it seem like there's one side pitted against the other. There's always got to be 2 or 3 sides when really it's actually one.
Yeah, control both sides and you could create whatever outcome you want. It's the bottom line. Eating chicken soon? CDC says avoid these products. Huge Tyson Listeria recall. 8.5 million pounds of fully cooked chicken products are being recalled. There's another blow to the food system. There's been so many. And speaking about foods, we want to thank everybody that has tried medicinal foods, and the feedback has been awesome. And many of you guys have already been using medicinal foods. And these people are part of our family. They've been part of the family for years now. And they offer great, healthy products that actually really do taste good, and they will boost your energy. And some things that are just on a little bit on the naughty side, but
Good stuff.
But a healthy naughty,
Yes.
you know, like the chocolate macadamia nuts, which are
Yum.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, I do love chocolate mulberries too. So do check them out. Anything that you order through our link that's on every video will go ahead and help support the channel as well as help support your health. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to stock up with everything that we're seeing in these days.
Yeah.
As you know, we will be stocking up, and we did a video on, you know, our plans for the backyard garden. And again, we are challenged with size. For those of you that maybe don't or do know of Jake Mace, he's like a vegan athlete slash off-gridder now. He moved up to BC, but before he was living in Phoenix, and he had the same size yard we do, you know, like around a quarter acre lot, typical yard. And he had so much growing on this tiny little lot that would boggle your mind. All sorts of healthy foods. It was truly a work of art and absolutely amazing. And it will take a while for us to try to duplicate anything like that. But even if we get 10% of what he had,
Yes.
we would be pretty well off.
We would be doing great.
And we'll share that journey with you guys as well. So thank you for being part of the family. Make sure you're subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications. Share. Thumbs up to support the channel as well. Thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, because we couldn't do it without you. If you need to make an appointment, it's evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail.com. And check out the website, evolutionaryenergyarts.com as well, to check out reviews from people. As always, guys, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.